Good morning, traders. Welcome to the market color brought to you by Value Flow Trading, team powered by Value Flow Trading. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy New Week to each and every one of you who are watching us from whatever channel, those who are watching us from Telegram, from Zoom, from YouTube. A happy new month to you. And we hope that this month brings us very good and wonderful profits by the end of the week, okay? Thank you for joining today's market color. We shall proceed with the market color as we're looking at following currency pairs and indices. First is the US indices, which is the US dollar index. Then we're going to also be looking at the Euro USD and GBP USD this morning, after which we would also look at gold against the dollar. We're going to look at GBP JPY, Euro JPY. So these are the currency pairs and index that we have in focus for today. My name is CJ, and joining me today will be Mr. Lekon, who will be taking us on the analysis together this morning, okay? But let's start straight with our analysis for gold for the dollar index. Now, looking at the dollar index on the daily time frame, like we analyzed last week, let's just revisit one of the analysis we did last week. We said that one of the places we'd want to see the dollar index retrace into would be this level right here on the monthly time frame, which is having a fair value gap right here on the monthly. We want to see the dollar index retrace into it, and it's going to give about 50% retracement, or very close to 50% retracement around here. So this is one of the reasons why we want to see why we want to see the dollar index retrace into that level, because that creates a safe zone for the dollar index when it gives that retracement. So seeing the dollar index around here would be a great deal for us, because we've been anticipating it for some months now. When it gets here, it's going to finally resume the sell possibly. Now on the weekly time frame, we've been seeing how the dollar index has been sluggish about the move to this upside right here. And we're hoping that maybe in the coming weeks, we'll see it creates that move that we've been expecting. Then on the weekly time frame, we're also looking out for levels where the dollar index might be interested in retracing to. Now, if you see how last week closed in an inverted hammer. This week, we're expecting that we might see a deep retracement into this level here before they move back to the upside. If price is indeed really serious about retracing, it might come into this level. Else, we just expect upward moves to the upside all the way, okay? So these are what we expect to see on the dollar index. Now on the daily time frame, it looks very clear. Dollar index has broken these two structures, so we're expecting it to resume that move to the upside. However, before it does so, we might see it make that retracement we just talked about into this level here this week, and then resume back to the upside. So for me on the daily time frame, one of the places I'm looking out for on the dollar index would be this level right here. If I see price retracing to this level here, so this rectangle, the blue rectangle right here, if I see price retracing to this level, I'll be interested in taking a buy to the upside from here. So this is one of the places I'm looking forward to seeing price gets to today, this week rather, okay? Now let's move to what we are looking forward to on the day. Now, looking at the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame kind of tell us something a little contrary to what the daily time frame has been saying, in the sense that the 4-hour time frame is showing us that structure has been created already, and we would not need to violate that structure for price to continue its move to the upside. What I mean by that is you can look at your primary market trend. We have higher highs and higher lows. Now, this was the last higher low that was created. This is the last higher high that was created. This is now the new buy structure. So this is the most recent buy structure. And we might not necessarily need to see price break this structure because we're already in an uptrend. So this is telling me also that price might not need to retrace all the way to this level here, because if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, there is improper mitigation of price all the way to the upside. So we're expecting that we might just see price reverse from this current place, because even if you look at it this way, by the way, this is a very tiny order block right here on the 4-hour time frame where price is retracing from. So this could be enough to engineer a resumption of the trend and end the retracement that is happening right here. So for me, I would be looking forward to this. So instantly at the at this instant, I would want, at this instance rather, I would want to see price retrace from here back to the upside. However, if I see price breaking further and I'm seeing my analysis not playing out, then I'll know this is the culprit. Okay. So for me, I'm going to be taking a buy on the dollar index to the upside from here. And if I see price retracing, I would just sell it off to this level, then buy from here afterwards. Okay, so that is what I'm looking forward to seeing on the dollar index. Now let's go into pairs that we'll be analyzing to take trades based off what we've said so far with the dollar index. Starting off with Euro USD. If you look at Euro USD, of course, we've been in an uptrend. Right now, but seeing that the dollar index has some scores to settle to the upside, we are looking forward to seeing Euro USD give us a sell-off to the downside. One of the levels we're expecting Euro USD to get to is this level right here, which is the daily time frame. Sorry, monthly time frame, I beg your pardon. Here around the 50% level of the monthly time frame, we're expecting to see Euro USD sell off into this level right here, moving into this first quarter at least. Now, if you look at the weekly, we're also expecting that sell-off because you'll see how price moved so wide without proper mitigation. So on the daily time frame, we've seen that the sell structure has been created by the violation of this buy structure. So we're expecting more and more sales to the downside on the Euro USD. This week started off strong. We're going to look at some fundamentals after now, but let's stay with the technicals that we're analyzing currently. So the week started off strong, and we've been seeing price make moves to the upside from here, from this particular level right here. So we're expecting to see Euro USD make more and more moves to the downside because our overall bias is a sell. So we're expecting more sell-offs on Euro USD to the downside, irrespective of this buy that we have seen move to the upside so far. Now, if you're looking at it from the 4-hour time frame, we're looking forward to trades that we can take. Now, you're seeing how Euro USD is struggling around this particular place right here. Okay, we're seeing how Euro USD is struggling around this particular region right here, and we want to see price make the resumption afterwards, and that should be somewhere around this particular level here where price is at the moment. So similar thing that's happening on the dollar index, we're expecting to happen on Euro USD. Okay, so we're expecting that reversal from this place. Price started off very bullish during the Asian session, but we expect that during London and New York, we might see the resumption back to the downside. Okay, so for Euro USD, I'm expecting a sell-off. You can see that there's already been a rejection here. First rejection was here. Okay, on Friday, price pumped up back. Then we started seeing another rejection during Asian session. So there's been 3 rejections: first here, second, and now the third one, which is this current 1-hour candle, is rejecting Euro USD to the downside. For me, I'm gearing up for a Euro USD sell, and I'm looking forward to possible trades that I will be taking on this Euro USD. Now, let me show you some trades that we'll be looking forward to taking. This particular point here is a point of interest for me on Euro USD. If I don't enter now, because I need something very convincing for me to jump into this Euro USD trade, and it is right here. I want to see price close below this level here. Once price closes below this particular point here, I'm going to be taking a sell-off on Euro USD. So this is my first point of interest on Euro USD. I want to see price break and close below this 4-hour low here. Then I'll be taking my sell. And one thing that you should also consider is that when price breaks here, if you look closely, you can still have enough room for a stop loss as much as 20 pips. And when that happens, we'll be taking our sell on Euro USD to the downside. So this is one of the places I want to take my sell on Euro USD. Let me highlight it or using this tool. So we have about 20 pips stop loss, which is enough in my own opinion. Then the take profits, we'll be looking at this level on 4-hour time frame. So I'm looking at this low right here on the 4-hour time frame as my targets, because this is like the next point of liquidity. If you watch, price has been taking out this diagonal liquidity all the way. So I'm expecting it to reach all the way to this level here. However, I want to look at some immediate take profit levels. And first of which is going to be this guy right here, this low. Okay, so I'm looking forward to seeing price taking out this low to give me the take profit I'm looking for. So for Euro USD, I'm expecting a sell. You can see the price is already going below here. It has broken this level here. So what I'm just waiting for right now is for it to close below. Once it closes below here, I'm triggering my sell and I'm selling Euro USD all the way to the level I highlighted. So let me just call out the price point quickly. So you'd see it. So the price point for the sell entry is around one spot 16241. Stop loss is around 1 spot 16441. And then take profit is at 1 spot 15482. Okay, take profit is about 75 pips if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 75.9 pips. So this is what I'm looking out for on Euro USD. Now let's look at GBP USD as well. So for GBP USD, if you look at the daily time frame, it's also telling us that this is looking like a sell structure. Price is aiming for all this diagonal liquidity that resides around there. So for GBP USD, we're looking forward to seeing sell trades all the way to the downside. Okay, so this is what GBP USD is showing us this morning. So if we look at the 4-hour time frame, of course, we're seeing similar thing to what's happening on Euro USD. After this strong bullish momentum to the upside, there's been rejection all the way to the downside for GBP USD. And this is a good place to sell because of this huge fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame and then this previous low right here. So GBP USD is selling off from here, which is a very good point of interest for a sell. Now, if you look at it on the 1-hour time frame as well, you see that there's been rejections around this 1.34 region, and price is struggling to break above it. So from there, we might start seeing the long sell trades to the downside. Now, the thing that we're expecting to happen on Euro USD, you can see that that's played out on GBP USD, where price has broken this low. Okay, so if you want to take a trade on GBP USD, I'd advise you wait for a retracement. And this is the point where I'll be entering my GBP USD sell from. When price retraces to this point, of course, if you remember our favorite box pattern, this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and we're expecting a retracement to form in this format, where price returns to this level and then sells off. So this level here has a fair value gap, possibly that is going to be possibly created soon. And then there is this other block price here, this old left shoulder here. So I'm expecting a return of price to this level and then a sell-off to the downside. So by that, I'll be having a sell trade from here all the way to the downside from the beginning of the fair value gap. Of course, I'm going to have about maybe 16 or 20 pips stop loss. Then my take profit is going to be this level here. Let's quickly revisit for her. So we'll see a similar trade profit just like we had on Euro USD. So take profit on GBP USD will be this low right here. Okay, this particular low, this is where our take profit is. So of course, I'll put it a few pips shy of that particular low. That is where my take profit on GBP USD is going to be. Okay, now the entry point is around 1.33964. Stop loss is at 1.34140, and then take profit is at 1.33151. So this is my setup for GBP USD sell this morning. So I'm expecting price to return soon to pick up my entry here, and then I'll be selling GBP USD to the downside. So let's quickly look at some forex pairs. Some forex news releases that we're expecting this week. Today being Monday, we're expecting CPI for Canada, and then after that, we're not expecting any major news until Friday, where we have the Japanese monetary policy release. Possibly we might see interest rates kept flat for the Japanese economy. So we might see a flat interest rate because it's already at 0.75. So we might not see any increase this month. So we just expect the market to move smoothly this week because there's not been any chaos so far. I expect that to just continue playing out till the end of the week. So this is my analysis on the pairs that I've analyzed so far. We're going to continue this analysis as we look at XAU USD, the Japanese yen basket, GBP JPY, and Euro JPY. So we'll take a very, very short break for about 30 seconds. And then when we return, we'll continue the analysis on the pairs that I've announced so far.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Market Follow brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. That was a very deep, insightful analysis from TJ. So this morning, I'm going to be taking us on the analysis of the precious metal. And from there, we're straight to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket, of which we use our outcome to interpret our expectations on the yen correlated pair like GBP, JPY, and Euro, JPY. Sit back as we enjoy the analysis. All right, starting with the precious metal this morning. What we believe some of us got our mail, if not everybody, we got the mail for our expectation of the pair for this week. However, if you look at the weekly time frame, this is the weekly time frame right now. You are going to observe that so far, so we've still been very bullish all the way to the upside, even upon all manner of uncertainties going on right now globally. Now, on the daily time frame, you're going to agree with me that sometimes on Friday, we're expecting price to retrace into this daily order breaker block. Then we begin to see price there from there all the way back to the upside. And we waited for that for so long, but it happened after the New York market analysis on Friday at about 4 p.m. GMT +1. That was when price came all the way into this zone and then, tap all the way backward, right? Move in our direction. But this morning we've seen how that the market opened with a very huge gap to the upside, of which I'm of the opinion that all things being equal, price is most likely going to come back and fill the gap, then pick its direction. Even though we know, if we go back to the weekly time frame, at the beginning of the year, we said high probability we are going to see the precious metal trade all the way into the 5,000 level, right? We're expecting it on the 5,000 level for the year. All right. Now let's go back to the daily time frame. So we expect that price should pull back a little bit more to cover the gap that we have. And if you look at it from the 1 hour time frame too, what we have so far so good is that as price already jumped up, where and what should we now consider for our trade, knowing fully well that price already tapped into our last big PY and it has delivered what we want it to do. Now let's look at what we have now. How can we take advantage of it? Now we already have a sweep liquidity here and a break of market structure at the top here, as we all can see. We've had a break of market structure somewhere here. So what is the next thing we'll be looking out for? Is that I'm of the opinion price is still going to pull back. And when it pulls back, this is where I expect it to trade all the way into. Right, so price should pull back into this zone, and when it gets here, there's even a confirmation here too, which is this order block. So I have 2 pointers around this level. We have a shoulder, and at the same time, we have a key reference point around this level, which should, hold price from going further down. So this is going to be it for the day, or even for the week, of all things being equal, because last week you would believe, you would agree with me that we're on a strong consolidation, then a breakout at the open of the market. So this week, there's that probability we see something similar, meaning price coming that into that low. But this news move on Friday should be protected, and then we should see how that price is going to pull all the way back and continue, and we do our 1:2 all the way to the upside, right? Just increase your move all the way there and get your 1:2. All right, so that is the outlook for the precious metal for this week. And if you go to the lower time frame too, it makes much more sense on the lower time frame because that helps you and I to find our entry the more. Now, looking at the lower time frame, where I would be willing to, go long on the precious metal is going to be somewhere around this place exactly. We've not even seen what is on 15 minutes. So it's going to be somewhere around this place and we'll follow through to the upside for the precious metal we are buying. All right. So that is that for the week on the precious metal. Let's quickly get to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket. You agree with me? On Friday, we said since the yen basket already took out the 2024 low with just this week, and the one thing we said on Friday is if last week candle closes to be a doji or an invert or a hammer, then we are going to expect some level of bullish move for this week moving forward. And that was exactly what happened, as you can see all day. Now, looking at the daily time frame, we are going to agree with me that our analysis for daily time frame is when price gets here, this was a very strong support that was broken. It shoot on resistance, but all things being equal, if for any reason we see price, trade above it, then we are going to see a retracement, then we continue. But right now, we see that price only came to tap this daily order block, and that is the reaction we are seeing now on the daily time frame of the yen basket. But if you look at the 4-hour time frame, there's something interesting there because you already see a closure at the top there, and this is more like a pullback all the way. Two things will happen. Is it that price pull back to somewhere around this level here or come to take out liquidity here? But we expect even for any reason to come on with and then you see it around this shoulder here and it should continue its move all the way to the upside. Let's check that on the 1-hour time frame. We are going to agree with me on the 1-hour time frame. That is also a key reference point where price is most likely going to pull back into and we follow through to the upside. All right. So that is that on the 1-hour time frame for the yen basket. Let's use that to interpret what we have on the yen correlated pair, starting with GBP JPY. On Friday for GBP JPY, we have a key reference point where we are expecting price to come and trade into, this sell. We said this sell did not give any entry. So we are expecting to get to our reference point so that we can buy. And we all set a pending order there, which was triggered at the open of the market, but yet to deliver fully our 1:2. So let's watch what would become of the trade just close to the TP right now. Let's watch what will become of it. And I believe you can see where price actually came to. If you look at your 15-minute time frame very well, that was a key level we've marked for a very long time. And this is it here on the 15-minute time frame. We've marked this level. And that's one thing about trading. You have to be very patient. So we marked this level since on the 8th of January, and now price just came to the whole place on the 19th. That is about 11 days after. So you can see what and where price is doing right now on the upside. All right, now that is that for the yen basket. And what is our further bias? If you look at the 4-hour time frame, all things being equal, I'm still expecting that the GBP JPY trade somewhere to this level. As you can see, this candlestick is very, very important, and we have to be very mindful of it. So, two things is going to happen is that we see it rally all the way to this. You can see the fair value gap. This is more like the flip zone support that was broken forcefully, and you can see the tussle between the buyers and the seller around this particular point. So, if price gets here, we will begin to look for opportunity to short again. You want to continue the short when price gets to this zone, all right, for GBP JPY. So we have something of this nature. And when price gets into that zone, we want to short it further down to the downside, right? So that is our POI looking forward to GBP JPY. And on the 1-hour time frame, too, we have a confirmation of the move very, very clean. As you can see, there's a sweep of liquidity within break and price we expect some level of pullback. It's either it reacts at this other block or it comes all the way to this fair value gap with this other block here. All right, so that is it for GBP JPY. That is what we are expecting moving forward for GBP JPY. Now a quick one to EUR JPY before we round up for the day. And if you have any question, you can start typing in the chat box as we address that quickly now. All right, so for EUR JPY, you are going to agree with me. Looking at the weekly time frame, we are still very much bullish, but we've been expecting some level of pullback on the EUR JPY quite some time now. First, that price should pull all the way to this 4-hour reference point. As you can see, this is the power reference point. We're expecting first, this is the premium level for buy, and also we have a discount level for buy on the lower time frame. Let's come to 1 hour. You can see this is the shoulder, we've seen the sweep, and we see the 40 with the upside. So on Friday, we have a pending order sitting here, which was triggered at the open of the market, and it already delivered its own. Now, this buy that is going up now, where exactly do we expect it to react from? Let's come back to the 4-hour time frame and see if we have any reference point, just as we are on the GBP GPY. Looking at Euro GPY right now, we really don't have any reference point right now, unless if someone wants to consider this particular zone, which is a low probability zone. All right. So I'm still of the opinion, just let's allow Euro JPY move its move and deliver whatsoever it wants to. Right, it's still pushing all the way back up. As a matter of fact, where I am looking at for Euro JPY, because we may see a very strong euro in the course of the week, is that price trading all the way into this particular zone here, right? And because of the intervention we are going to see on yen this week, particularly on Friday, based on the interest rates that is coming out. Now, we won't see the interest rate being cut further. That is a lot of speculation that we are not going to see it, but instead we are going to see an intervention on the yen. And also just a quick information that USD JPY for the week and even moving forward for the next few weeks, there's high tendency to see that pair, range all through, because the intervention of the on the yen basket coming up is also going to be all from the US too, from the dollar. So we are going to see that happen. But for Euro JPY and GBP JPY, high tendency, we are going to see a lot of sell-off to the downside for the pair. All right, now on the 1 hour time frame for the Euro JPY, we've already seen where price already got into. But a new level where we should be expecting is that if this sell begin again, we are going to see price react from this zone again to the downside, to the upside, because we have a very strong shoulder around this level. How that price is going to take out this liquidity, retrace into this level, and start pushing all the way back up again. Now, this particular trade may only be just 1:2. You can just do your 1:2, because by that time we will have seen some level of strength on the yen basket, which we would want to follow through. All right, so that is it for the yen correlated pair. If there's any question, I would like to take some of our questions, and then if there is none, this is going to be the end of the market call brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. Today being Monday, 19th of January 2026. The year is still very much fresh. You can easily be focused more on your trading journey this year. So we meet again by 2 p.m. for the New York recap. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. Once again, I'm Lekon Cheers and God bless.